Hello again. This is the fourth in a series of videos giving a taste of what you can expect on a holiday in northern India, India's Golden Triangle. This was filmed in early March of 2020, just as COVID-19 was spreading around the world. This video covers our quest to see a tiger in the wild. We left Agra and the Taj Mahal behind and made a longish coach journey to Ranthambore National Park. You see all sorts of sights as you travel, of course. Here's small shops selling everyday staples. And here's a road junction with just about every kind of vehicle you could imagine, except a car. I was intrigued to see these piles of circular brown discs on the side of the road at various points along the way. These turned out to be cow dung chapatis. Cow dung is mixed with straw and shaped into the circular discs. These are then left in the sun to dry. They're used as a fuel to burn under the cooking pots. Here's a cow crossing the road. I think she's done this before. We arrived at our hotel, the Sawai villas, in the early afternoon. There was a lovely welcome message for us which was made from flower petals. This was probably the best hotel that we stayed in on our trip. The rooms were great. We even had an open-air shower. The food was delicious too. We even had some time off to laze around the swimming pool. Luxury! Not for long though. We were soon off on our tiger hunt. There are 50 national parks throughout India where the tiger is protected. Ranthambore is one of the more northerly parks, so will often feature in the itinerary if you're visiting the Golden Triangle. Ranthambore is about 515 square miles in size. That's about 250,000 football pitches, or an area almost as big as Greater London. Plenty of room for tigers to hide. The park is a mix of hills, woodlands, lakes and open ground. You'll tour the area in a high vehicle called a Canter, which takes about 25 people. We had a driver and a guide who told us about the wildlife that we saw. He also kept in touch with other guides to hear if any tigers had been sighted. We set off along the winding tracks. Ranthambore is home to a wide range of wildlife and we saw various species of birds and animals. This lovely white-throated kingfisher looks completely different on the back and the front. Every so often we stopped to look at the wildlife or to check for signs of a tiger. Nothing yet. When we stopped at a rest stop, these cheeky rufous tree pies came looking for food. I don't think I'll go for a swim. I wonder if these monkeys have followed us from Shimla. If you watched the previous video in this series, you'll remember that this isn't a chipmunk, it's an Indian palm squirrel. They still look the same to me. There are several different species of deer in Ranthambore, which I'm sure pleases the tigers. The deer all looked happy and contented. I couldn't help thinking that if there was a tiger nearby, they'd be looking a touch more nervous. You can ask if anybody likes, I can pass the word.
Thank you.
Welcome, most welcome.
This male deer is keen.
Now she is going to run very fast.
I'm not sure if the female is leading him somewhere more private, or she just doesn't fancy him.
Yeah. Needs a bit of a slap, doesn't he?
Then the excitement began. News the tiger had been spotted. The driver thought he was Lewis Hamilton as he drove the truck towards the place where the tiger had been seen. And then, there she was. In the distance, but unmistakably, a Bengal tiger. We watched her as she walked towards the lake. She disappeared and then reappeared. By this time, word had spread. Our guide identified our tiger as a mature female with 2 cubs who were almost fully grown. Excitement mounted as she came fully into view. Then she started walking towards us. It was now even busier. You could have heard a pin drop as she came close to us. She stopped for a drink. At this point, she was about 20 feet away from us. Then she walked slowly right past us. She was obviously used to seeing vehicles full of excited tourists. She carried on past the vehicles and disappeared behind a small hill. She reappeared, and then we could hardly believe our eyes as one of her cubs came out of the bushes to greet her. It was a magical moment. If you go on holiday to the Golden Triangle, I strongly suggest that you visit one of the national parks to try and see a tiger in the wild. It's a memorable experience, I can assure you. Next time, we visit the pink city of Jaipur and witness the Holi celebrations, the Festival of Colour. We'll see the Palace of the Winds and the elephants at the Amber Fort. We'll also visit the house where the first series of The Real Marigold Hotel was filmed. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.